In today's video, I have some of the cutest little Christmas crafts, and they are very budget friendly and super easy to make. I can't wait for you to see how they turned out, so stay tuned. Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. My name is Melissa. And in today's video, I have for you some more Christmas craft ideas. These crafts are very simple to do. They're very budget friendly and they turn out so cute. I can't wait for you to see them. And also today is part of a collaboration. This collaboration is called Ho Ho Ho, It's the Holidays. It's hosted by Up All Night DIY, The Secret Craft Room, and Shabby Meets Bling. Make sure when you are finished here that you go down into my description box, you check out the hosts for this collaboration as well as the playlist. Make sure that you watch the playlist because these content creators have given you a lot of Christmas motivation, Christmas inspiration for your Christmas crafting. So make sure you check that out. But for now, I want to show you what Christmas crafts I've made. For this project, I'm pretty much crafting my stash. This is something that I bought from Target, I don't even know how long ago, but it's a pack of 3 wood houses. Got it for $5. So I am going, and this is going to be so simple. I'm going to take these 3 houses and turn them into a really cute Christmas vignette. The first thing that I'm gonna do for this is I'm going to use some paper from this Paper Studio set that I got from Hobby Lobby, $6.99, and I paid either 40 or 50% off, can't remember. But I'm gonna use this paper on all 3 of the pieces. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just put Mod Podge on the front, what I want to be the front of each one. And you wanna make sure you get on the edges, especially, so that that paper doesn't come up. And as you can see how I've put the paper on, I am just lining it up on the edge. And that kind of gives me a good, as long as I don't let it slide, to keep it straight. And then I'm using my little brayer to just bray it on, get it set real good. And I got these, it's a set of 3 brayers from Amazon. So I'll put a link to that in the description box. Now I have the paper on here. I'm gonna let it dry before I cut it. I want it to dry really good and then I'll cut it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it to where I can still use these bits of paper for tags at my vendor booth. So it's not gonna go to waste. I gave it probably a couple hours to let that Mod Podge kind of set. And then I just went around, after I cut it, I went around with my little finger sander and sanded around the edges just to give it that clean, crisp, and kind of worn look. Then I go over it with a coat of Mod Podge. Now that the top coat of Mod Podge is dry, I'm now going to decorate each little house. And I have these words. This is Merry, and this one is Bright. And I got these from Target. They came in a pack I don't even remember when, 2 or 3 years ago maybe, and I just never used them. So I'm gonna use them here. And they come with a little paper on the back, and they are a little sticky, but I want them to stay. So, and I've used these before, and the glue does tend to, you know, fade after a while, the stickiness. So I am going to put some glue, especially on these parts that are fancy and stick out. Now for these two, I'm gonna actually use some transfers that I have left over from one of the ReDesign with Prima sets, actually 2 different sets. This is from the Nutcracker one, and then this one, I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, I'm gonna use these transfers on these, and then I'm gonna do something else. I'm actually going to hot glue this wreath I got from Walmart. It came in a pack of 4. They're like mini ornaments or something. And I'm gonna hot glue that to that. So now I'm just gonna get these transferred. The transfers are really easy to use. You just take off that white backing, place the image where you want it on your project, and use the little wooden stick that comes with the transfers to rub the transfer onto the project. This one right here took a little more effort and a little more time, so rather than bore you, I did it off camera. Then for the wreath, I'm just putting a good amount of hot glue on the back side, and then I put it in the center of that short little house and let that hot glue set. And I did forget to mention with the transfers that once you're finished transferring it, you just take that clear paper and rub over those transfers to get them set into place. To finish this off, I do need to seal the transfers, so I'm going to use the Waverly varnish in matte, and I'm also going to put a coat of the varnish on the raw wood as well. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you've been knowing about this Waverly varnish. I only saw it in my Walmart a few weeks ago, and I really like it. It doesn't leave any brush marks, and it's really easy to use, and it's very reasonably priced. But anyway, here is the final project. I really think these, oh my gosh, these just turned out so cute. I really just think they are just adorable and so budget friendly. Let me know what you think. For this project, I'm using this little sled that I got at Target several years ago, and it was $5. And it's really cute, but it just needs a little something else. So I'm taking this transfer from the same transfer set as the gingerbread men, and I'll put a link to the name of that transfer in the description box. But I'm not really going to do too much, just adding this transfer. And again, once you set it down on your project, you just use that little stick and start pulling up. You rub it on the transfer and start pulling up the plastic. And if you see that something didn't transfer, you just set it back down, go back over it with the stick, rub it some more, and pull that paper back up. And once you kind of get it going, it's a little easier to work with once you get it started. So anyway, like I said before, after you finish transferring the whole image, you take that same piece of plastic and you just rub over the top of the image with the plastic until you've kind of made sure that that image is burnished into your project. Now I'm going to seal that transfer in, and I'm using that same Waverly varnish. Off camera, I made a little red bow and put it at the bottom of the wreath that was at the top of the sled. Then I'm taking the Waverly white wax and just going around all of the edges just to kind of make it look like it's a little snowy. And this, I put some ribbon back at the top of the sled, and this project is finished. I think this really elevates that simple, plain little $5 piece from Target. This project, I'm going to make another wooden ornament. If you've never seen any of my other Christmas videos so far this year, I've made a couple different ones, but this one's going to be a little bit different. I have this wood hanger from Dollar Tree, and I am going to decoupage a piece of paper on the top, and then I'm going to put a mold on it. So the paper that I'm using comes from this paper studio that I got from Hobby Lobby, $6.99, and I got it for, I don't know, 40 or 50% off. It has a lot of pretty Christmas prints, and the one I'm going to use is this kind of Christmas village piece. And then I'm going to use this mold that I actually already had one day on a weekend. Some of us ladies got together at the store where I have my vendor booth, and we just made a bunch of different molds. And this one is the truck mold, and it comes from the ReDesign with Prima mold, and it's made with a resin. So I'm going to put that on top of the paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take the paper, and I'm going to put some Mod Podge on top of the ornament, and I'm going to make sure that I get on the edges because I want to make sure it sticks really well. You don't want to put too much of the Mod Podge, and you can let the Mod Podge dry and then put the paper on it, the decoupage, whatever you're gonna decoupage, but it's just as easy for me to do it like this. So I've got the Mod Podge around the edges, and I'm gonna try to get it as straight with the hole. To make sure this paper gets down really good, I'm going to use another one of those Brayers that I used in the first project. This Brayer set comes in 3 different sizes. While the Mod Podge is drying, I am going to paint this little truck. And this is, I don't know if you can actually see it, this is like the front of a truck. So I'm going to paint it red, and it's the Waverly red in the color crimson. Now that this is dry, I'm going to go over it with a light coat of the clear wax, the Waverly clear wax. Have just a little dab of the antique wax, the Waverly antique wax, just a dab. I really like using the clear wax when I'm using the antique wax because that gives me a better kind of control over how much antique wax gets to stay on the project. The clear wax allows me to wipe some of that back. And if you get too much on there, more than you anticipated or wanted, you can always go back with the clear wax, wipe it on your project, and take some of that antique wax off. Now I'm using my finger sander to sand around the edges. Once I've sanded it all off, I go over the top with another coat of Mod Podge. After that's dried, I'm going to paint the sides and the back with Waverly chalk paint in the color Moss. And then I'm going to place the truck on the top. And I have these little strips of ribbon, and I'm going to make a little messy bow to go at the top, but I felt like it needed a little more, so I just took a couple little sprigs of greenery from something I already had in my stash and just glued it to the top. Once that's hot glued on, I glue the ribbon on top of the greenery and cut off the sides of the ribbon to kind of the length I want it. Then I'm going to go over the chalk paint with a clear wax, because I'm going to also go over just the edges. I need to seal in that paint, but I'm going to go over very lightly the edges of the ornament, the front and the back, with the antique wax. And this is how it turned out. I think it's so cute and it's just so vintage looking. I just think this is just going to look so pretty on a Christmas tree. Let me know in the comments which project was your favorite. Before I close out this video, I do want to leave you with a Bible verse, and this verse comes from Psalm chapter 59, verse 16, and it says, "But as for me, I will sing of your mighty strength and power. Yes, I will sing joyfully of your loving kindness in the morning, for you have been my stronghold and a refuge in the day of my distress." I hope this verse blesses you and gives you just a little bit of encouragement for your day. I would also like to thank once again Up All Night DIY, The Secret Craft Room, and Shabby Meets Bling for hosting this collaboration. Don't forget to check out their channels and also check out the playlist. I know you're going to get so much Christmas inspiration. And if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for coming by. If you love DIYs, thrifting, thrift flips, then I would love it if you would be a part of my YouTube family. Make sure that you click the subscribe button and click that thumbs up because it does help me out with YouTube. And if you want to see more Christmas crafts, then check out the box you see on the screen right now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.